Today on Rappler. Former Senate President Mig Zubiri is dumbfounded to learn Senator Bato Dela Rosa signed a resolution to oust him. Two of Bamban Mayor Alice Guo's incorporators in Baofu land are involved in the largest Singapore money laundering case. Scores of graduating students walk out from Yale University's commencement exercises in protest over the Israeli war in Gaza. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan has requested arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his defense chief, and 3 Hamas leaders. And Scarlett Johansson accuses OpenAI of creating a ChatGPT chatbot that sounds eerily similar to her voice. Former Senate President Mig Zubiri says he's dumbfounded to learn Senator Bato Dela Rosa was one of the 15 senators who signed the resolution to oust him. Zubiri says, "If yesterday I was heartbroken, now I am dumbfounded." He even thanked Dela Rosa as he was stepping down Monday.
And napasalamat din ako na Senator Bato Dela Rosa dahil ang balita ko talagang hindi po siya pumirma at nanatili po siyang kasama ko sa pinakauli.
Dela Rosa, who was emotional when Zubiri stepped down, admits he backed Escudero's leadership. Zubiri says he displeased the powers that be when he did not agree to the timeline for charter change and when he allowed the Senate probe on PIDEA leaks. The senator adds defending Dela Rosa had cost him his Senate presidency. Dela Rosa's committee held 4 hearings on the so-called PIDEA leaks that attempted to link President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to illegal drugs but failed. 2 of Bamban Mayor Alice Guo's fellow incorporators in Baofu land development are involved in Singapore's largest money laundering case. Senator Risa Hontiveros says the incorporators are Chinese national Zhang Ruijin, who was convicted in Singapore's largest money laundering case in April, and Dominican Republic national Lin Baoying. According to a Straits Times report, Lin faces 10 charges in Singapore in relation to the $2.8 billion money laundering case. Hontiveros says Guo, Zhang, and Lin were listed in Baofu's 2019 Securities and Exchange Commission documents as incorporators. Guo says she owned 50% of Baofu land development but had divested ahead of her 2022 mayoral bid. Baofu leased its 7.9-hectare property to offshore gaming operator Zunyuan Technology, which was raided by authorities in April for human trafficking. Hontiveros asks, did she get the money to buy a chopper and luxury cars from criminals and fugitives? Scores of graduating students walk out from Yale University's commencement exercises in protest over the Israeli war in Gaza, Yale's financial ties to weapons makers, and its response to pro-Palestinian demonstrations. The Monday, May 20 walkout began as Yale President Peter Salovey started to announce the presentation of candidates for degrees. At least 150 students stood up together and paraded out of the ceremony. Many carried small banners with slogans, "Books, not bombs," and "Divest from war." Some wore red-colored latex gloves symbolizing bloodied hands. The walkout drew a chorus of cheers from fellow students in the crowd, but the protest was otherwise peaceful without disruption. Yale is one of dozens of US campuses roiled by protests over the mounting Palestinian humanitarian crisis. Dozens of students walked out of Duke University's commencement last week to protest its speaker, comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who supported Israel in the war. International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan has requested arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his defense chief, and 3 Hamas leaders. Khan says in a statement he had reasonable grounds to believe that all bear criminal responsibility for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and Netanyahu oversee Israel's offensive against Hamas in Gaza. Khan also applied for arrest warrants for Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed al-Masri, the commander-in-chief of the military wing of Hamas, who is widely known as Deif, and Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas's political bureau. It'll be up to a panel of pre-trial judges to determine whether the evidence supports the issuing of arrest warrants, but the ICC has no means to enforce them. Khan says international humanitarian law must be shown to apply to all individuals. Scarlett Johansson accuses OpenAI of creating a voice for the ChatGPT system that sounds eerily similar to her voice. The actress says OpenAI CEO Sam Altman approached her last September and offered to hire her to voice a ChatGPT. an offer she declined. Altman said in a statement that chatbot's Sky voice was not an imitation of Johansson but belonged to a different professional actress. He said, "Out of respect for Miss Johansson, we have paused using Sky's voice in our products." Johansson says, "I was shocked, angered, and in disbelief," adding her close friends could not tell the difference. Johansson adds Altman had insinuated that the similarity was intentional by tweeting a reference to Her, the 2013 movie where Johansson plays an AI assistant. OpenAI unveiled its newest AI model, GPT-4o, last week. It lets users speak to the chatbot in more realistic-sounding AI conversations. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.